It's so hard to say goodbye
To
to
yes.
yesterday.
And
And
I
I'll take no, no,
swear.
it's and I'll take with
I was
me.
at the end. I was skipping to the end.
Or Marcus, we can always do Crossroads. My Uncle Charles, y'all, or
That's
Uncle
the only
Bivens.
line, Damn. Malcolm!
Malcolm,
Malcolm!
I feel like this was the end of
get your
Malcolm
head out my
Jackson. Keep your
pocket.
hand out my pocket. Ta, 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 ta. No! They killed Malcolm. They killed Malcolm. Damn it.
Yeah,
Damn it.
yeah.
He didn't want to resign though, man. He didn't want to resign.
Yeah,
Had to go.
this is not even something that you can be mad at WWE. He decided he wanted to take his talents elsewhere. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what? More power to you, my black brother. You go do
This
you.
this
And,
hurt more than Billy Kay to me.
let me also tell you that in tribute to Malcolm Bivens, we gave him the whole uh, thumbnail to himself. No added women, no nothing. Just him by himself. That's how much respect that he got from us.
He got Shayna.
No, no. This is the thumbnail, Marcus. This is the
No, but
thumbnail.
I was saying, as we were clicking through these images.
Marcus
He
Shayna
got
ain't,
Shayna in one.
Marcus Shayna ain't increasing the views, man.
Shayna is she's moving the needle. She's a needle mover.
To who?
To who?
She may move your needle. She doesn't move anyone else's needle.
I think
fine.
Marcus, her tag team partner moves the needle more than she does.
Which
And
one?
that's saying a lot.
You talking about
getting-
Natty? You
I'm
talking about busy
Natty.
Natty?
I took a Milfy Daddy. I took a shot at her.
Let's get into the show, and then we'll get into more of these WWE releases.
It looked like this was going to be the other way, didn't it? Just seemed
It
like
did. It
Roddy
did.
was going his way out. That he had enough of his shit. Roddy, you are a mid-carder at best.
Hey,
you are
Roddy-
a mid-carder. Don't try to coach me to be in the main event. You ain't never won nothing. You have no charisma. You can't inspire me for shit. You are the undisputed fool. Damn it.
Yeah, but Roddy's also a good hand to help the young talent learn how to be professional wrestlers. So I can understand why he still has a job. Oh, there it is. There it is.
I'll stand by.
Let me tell you something right now, and you guys need to understand this. Well, I will talk about this later, but Daddy was part of one of my favorite segments this week of just pure pettiness, and we'll touch on that later because we need to focus on the NXT releases that took place. Where
Natty's on some bullshit, and her Petty's on spanning on 2 shows now.
yes, but Natty is just like Natty might be the MVP that nobody wanted, but she's out there doing what needs to be done. She might be doing God's work, but the Canadian God's work.
I think that she saw Serena Deeb. It was like, Serena Deeb's gonna be petty, and she's basically the female Bret Hart. I need to step up my pettiness and be on 2 shows and attack the young kids in NXT.
Serena Deeb got called into the principal's office because she got all of Tony Khan's coke underneath the ring, and it's over. Like he was hot. He had to talk to him.
Eric.
I seen him on the draft day. He did not look too happy. He was like, "That was my good stuff."
Look at that!
That was
In a
my good
Ziploc
coat.
bag. You know, I don't respect people that do the press together zip bags. I prefer the one that has a little zipper that you go across with. That's just me. I mean,
Is that for cocaine or just in general for sandwiches and shit?
Marcus, whatever you decide that you want to put in a plastic bag. But we're here.
I know Johnny Depp would describe it. Does this bag contains cocaine, but it does look like a thing I would cocaine in.
So we're
I don't like the direction J.K. Swift is going. The 1%, I don't like it. Good morning. Good evening. Fuck my Hulk Hogan, and thank you to my dentist for my clean teeth.
You know what, JK, fuck your dentist because I can't get clean teeth because I'm a wrist. He can't do the deep cleaning for my mouth.
Well, you know the dentist is a scam anyway.
It is.
Fuck the dentist. You're a scam artist. You're not like an optometrist. You are a bastard, Dennis. You guys can make safety safer and unviolent with methods to clean the team. Everybody else in the medical field has seems to like lighten up and try to ease the pain. No, not the dentists. They're sociopaths. They want to see the pain. Bring the pain. I didn't realize Isaac Yankem was real until I went to the dentist.
I didn't realize that a conversation about a dentist would bring Wake Marcus up. But what we need to talk about is that WWE, as they normally do after WrestleMania, they released their talent. And it took a little bit longer than usual, but they started with NXT. And NXT came to the terms of the release with 9 of their performers. Might have been 10. I'm not 100% sure. It's 10. Dakota Kai.
Hold on. Did they release Ty Dillinger one more time just so it be
10? Some of the people, the casualties of war: Dakota Kai, Malcolm Bivens, Paige Prizzavali, Sajana George, Draco Anthony, Harlan, Persia Parada, Raylan Devine, Mila Milani, and Dexter Loomis. I don't know a good portion of the names, but I will talk about the people that meant something to me. I am sad to see Dakota Kai gone. However, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. She's been at NXT longer than anybody, and they just never wanted to call her up, and she will be missed, but I'm pretty sure she can go to AEW and really excel the women's division that needs a little bit uplifting, in my opinion. So, Manny, I'll turn to you first because I think I already know the answer, because I need Marcus to calm down a little bit after talking all that hate about the dentist. Who of the releases got you the most?
Bivens got me, but then after listening to Rob Sapp, Sean, I know I said it incorrectly. I don't care. Sean Ross Sapp. he said that Bivens didn't want to sign an extension because he was signed for a long time and he was off TV for for 2 years since he was signed till they eventually put him on. He signed an extension when they presented him the Diamond Mine stuff, where he'd see where that was going. And then when they asked him in February to resign, he didn't want to. And then I think with Dakota Kai, which I was also like surprised, because when I saw SmackDown this week and realized that Aaliyah was still on the roster.
Shotzi and Aaliyah might be next, just to be honest. Come on.
I was like, why did they let Dakota go? And then also on Sean Ross Sapp, apparently Dakota Kai made it very clear that when her contract was up, she wasn't gonna re-sign or anything either. So when you hear those kinds of things, I'm not surprised they're part of these releases. So you can't really be mad if they want to let go of people that don't want to be carrying on in the company at that point, because essentially then you're just carrying around dead weight and you're paying them to do nothing. So those ones don't bother me. I'm not even bothered about Haaland, because from what they say, they didn't seem very impressed with. He hadn't made any progress in terms of his in-room work and stuff like that. The only one I'm really surprised about is probably Dexter, because I think they could have done something with that character on the main roster. But other than that, I'm not surprised about the other releases.
Now, Marcus, we turn to you, Mr. Grand Finale. How about you? Who got you off guard? Who caught you by surprise?
Well, this may come out of left field. Who caught me by surprise?
You better not say
Harlan probably was the one that caught me by surprise. But then again, he wasn't on this week. I should have known. I should have known something was up, because there was no mention of Harlan this week. They didn't talk about, because after the weird belt exchanging and the passing of the belt to Joe Gacy, and not to mention Harlan, I was like, oh, something up with this. So him being out shouldn't have been a surprise, but it was the biggest surprise. He must have been a dumpster fire for Vince to be like, nah, I don't want this. I don't want this. I have a big white man that looks like Brock Lesnar, and who, by his image alone, people had already said, oh, he's going to have a following. And then it was like, not you. And so that was one shocking. I'm also a little shocked about Draco Anthony, who I never felt like got a fair shake in NXT, even though he never got a real storyline other than that video package. I'm shocked, of all the black people released this week, Wes Lee was not released in this
No
because he had that video package, and I was like, you sad motherfucker, you gotta go.
Let me tell you something, Marcus. I disagree with you because I think in the last 2 weeks, they're trying to make the best out of what they have. And I thought Wesley the week prior, actually his promo that he cut was actually solid. I thought it was okay. And I mean, his little video package of him trying to find redemption, I'm almost under the impression that Nash Carter was holding him back. He could be something. And yes, everyone in Chase U is still employed because it's a teachable moment. I think I'm probably more shocked with Sam Shaw. I'll call him back by his original name because he was named in TNA, and I'm a person, whoever named you first, that's where your name stick.
That's not true at all.
I think you guys are correct. I think he could have.
You still call him Zazaro.
I think he could have been something a little bit more, but at the same time, if WWE could come to the agreement with Bray Wyatt and his asking price, you don't need two of those type of characters. And I think Joe Gacy is kind of doing the whole serial killer vibe a little bit better because I think that belt passing moment that took place on NXT was probably one of the best cinematic things I've seen this week.
It was stupid.
That cheesy shit. I enjoyed it.
It was stupid. It was like they got in formation. I hate the Druids. I can't believe they're aligning with him. They're just out there for a check. Fuck the Druids.
Margaret L. Luchador pointed out that Loomis is almost 40 years old.
But I still think that Loomis had to me, and I know people are against this belt, but the 24/7 title exists, and I thought there was none better person on NXT suited for that title than Dexter Lumis.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad Persia got cut. I didn't like Persia. Never did.
Persia could have went.
I think I said it on multiple occasions. Now I'm also
happy
that
Indy didn't go. Indy could go too. Indy ain't really that good either.
I think they see something in Indy that they like about Indy. I think
the only person in that polyamorous relationship that they had in that segment is the only one I trust is Duke.
Yeah, but now Indy and Duke go start fucking. That's what's about to happen. They was allude to it. I mean, they about to become the most evil people ever.
It's gonna be quick.
Yeah, it's like
I didn't realize the swift hands of justice and release was gonna happen this way. Yeah, my husband's released. Your girl is out. Me and you. It's time for the Induki.
Induki.
I just lied when I said I didn't like you. El Luchador feels that Finn Balor is going to be released. I don't think so. I think that they still find value in Finn, and I think
Shinsuke is going to get released.
I think Nakamura is going to get released. I do feel that. I think once Rick Boogs went down, it went downhill from there.
I don't think they're releasing Nakamura. They got to keep some Japanese wrestlers. They like to have people from every different market, and now with Kushida gone and Jack and Ty being a waste of money, 100%.
How dare you?
They need Shinsuke to help the tap into the Japanese market, and Finn's also a part of that Japanese market as well.
Yeah, I can see when they would get released, but I also think they're kind of safe. Like for me, when I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I hope they don't do something stupid and release somebody like a Bailey, because I know Bailey hasn't been on TV in a long time.
Why would they release Bailey?
I don't know. Valuable. Or I thought the most controversial release, and
she's a main girl being in the Four Horsewomen.
I was also going to say they might release the controversial, the one who they have done for the money maker, the one that Manny has used for more thumbnails than anybody else, the newly married Alexa Bliss. I'd be like, they don't have anything for her. She doesn't have a gimmick to steal right now. So what can they do with her? I don't know. I can see that happening. So she can steal Edge's gimmick. So she can be I can't even say that damn word. I hate that I can't say that word. Damn.
I don't know what you were trying to say.
I'm potent, omnipotent, or omnipotent. Omnipotent. Yeah, that word. I can't say.
I don't even know what you're trying to say.
But you know what? So Wes has opened up the door, and I have to walk into it because yes, I heard you guys talk on your Thursday show, and I heard you guys praise what FTR did to Ring, but I also heard Manny trash what took place on NXT. I will let Manny know that I side with my brother Marcus, that I enjoy what Lash Legend and Nikita Lyons put on in that ring. And I understand you might have a different criteria than what I do, but I understand that NXT is a developmental, and they were both out there trying to do the best that they could with their limited offense, but I can see potential in both women. And then you add the boat into the situation. I will point out that was like the greatest thing with Lash acknowledge who Natty was. Go ahead, my brother. Speak on it.
I want to also praise this match 100%. You can take your 5-star match and shove it up your ass because I'm watching this over the action that I can get in the ring. And this was leather on leather, meat on meat.
Meat on meat.
Two women going at it. Black on black almost.
If you told me this was porn, I'd be fine with it. If you told me this was wrestling, no.
But hold on. This is what I'm gonna lead this in to a story that came out this week with you guys' girl, who you guys said is as boring as Nick Aldis and Swerve Scott. Your words, not mine.
Cora Jade?
No, Athena, aka Impa came out and said they wanted her to be like this. They wanted her to be Lash Legend. They wanted her to be Nikita Lyons. They wanted her to be Mandy. Yes.
She can't say anything. When she allows her husband to say he's the king of black women, she has no talk in the game. She can shut the fuck up.
and then on top of that, Marcus, I don't know if you saw my comments on this one because I kind of I lost myself in this situation because I don't care too much for Ember Moon. So I said she was just upset because she has no butt, and that was the issue that she had. And as Manny pointed out, you cannot be complaining about this when you let your dude go out there and be called the king of blacks when he's a white man. That is just not right. And El Luchador, you're correct. Sky Blue is very attractive. I really enjoy the other.
Is a bit fucked.
Yeah, but sometimes no, it's kind of like it's like the redhead 19-year-old that NXT has. Like she's cute, but she's boring.
There's a redhead 19-year-old.
Sloane Jacobs. They were talking about her to break out NXT Women's Star, man. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
I didn't know of her because Nikita Lyons squashed her too.
Yeah, but back to it, like. So, Manny, the reason why I enjoy Nikita Lyons versus Lash Legend is because it's petty shit that they were out there trying to do their best, and then somehow Cora Jade and Natty got involved into this one. And let me tell you, Lash Legends and her promos are hilarious because she made Natty look more relevant in that situation than what Natty really was.
How are you gonna feel when Lash Legend gets fired for being associated with Natty? Because that's what all her tag partners happen. Nia Jax.
Get all the way out.
I would probably feel the same way I feel about Persia. I mean, I like Lash for what she's doing right now, but at the same time, I can understand if they let her go. But she looks like looks like both Nikita and Lash are adapting to the WWE style better than Harlan ever did. Because Harlan in the ring was awful. I said it.
That one match.
And it was awful. It was awful. And we don't get to see El Luchador. That's harsh. That is harsh. The NXT Thought Breakout Tournament. But you're right.
They're about that life.
You make the bracket, I'll do it.
Yeah, Sloane Jenkins does sound like a poor name. It does. NXT decided they wanted to flex how many women they had on their roster this week.
Yeah, and I also want to talk about Natty and Lash Legend together. It just seems like that two co-workers who in the back just talking shit about everybody and mad they didn't get the promotion. But they know they lazy as fuck. That's what they look like. That's the only thing they have in common is that they hate management and they didn't get promoted.
Or the two people that together and no one can understand why they friends because they're from opposite ends of the track. That's for me. I loved everything about it. I mean,
your hate together brought them together.
I loved working in retail because you'd have a mixture of friendships that just outside of that workplace you wouldn't. Like how you would have you could be in your 20s and have a friend at work that is like 45. That's how much I loved working in retail with people because it was just like
that's kind of my job. You have people in their like 50s that I'm talking to in like different languages. Why am I talking to a 50 or 60-year-old Vietnamese man about the NBA, even though we have nothing else in common? We talk every day in the NBA at work.
Marcus, at my job we have friendship and parents and we still don't understand why why they friends, but they are. But the thing is, I need Lash with Lash Legend. They interviewed Natty the boat on her show. I need them to have that. I mean, I knew I was gonna enjoy this match when I saw Nikita Lyons walk out, and she walked out with like that confidence, like she thought she was the shit, like she was peacocking with the best of them. And it wasn't that bad of a match.
As I've already told Marcus, if you don't have a custom nameplate on NXT 2.0, you aren't the shit.
You get shot. And it's nothing else but that NXT crowd being hyped for Nikita coming out. They had signs, and she is a internet sensation, and I don't think she's long for the world of NXT. No matter how good she is in the ring, she does bring the attention and the eyes, and people go, "Who's that?" As soon as you see that, who that?
That's true.
Oh, and speaking of the NXT audience, I want them to move back to Full Sail because I'm tired of seeing that Mets fan in the corner. I'm tired of seeing him every time.
This became a thread. So Manny started talking about the Mets fan, and someone started talking about somebody else in another shirt. I was like, man, you guys pay too much attention to the crowd.
No. Those people are there. They're scary. I hate that they're there every week. I don't understand. I hate them just as much as I hate the people that go to the PWG. It's the same 200 people over and over. Musty as always. They smell like it. They live and they breathe. And you just can't get in there yourself because those same people are always waiting there. They get their tickets.
But I want to live in a wrestling world where it's okay for me to enjoy Nikita Lyons and Lash Legend and also enjoy FTR fighting each other, because I will point out on Dynamite that felt like a big deal. I didn't understand why it was going down. I didn't need CM Punk to be doing commentating, but I was interested in seeing Dax going against Cash. And quite frankly, they did one of the most traditional wrestling matches that AEW has ever produced, and I enjoyed it for what they did. It meant nothing, but it meant everything at the same time. It was a nice moment in wrestling.
Again, as I pointed out the show, very nice match. Very nice match. But it looked like two men just rolling around together and playing and having a good time. It was very beautiful. Grappling. It was like the end of watching the Fast and the Furious when Paul Walker died and drove off into the distance. They wasn't really racing. It was more emotional. It was more about the emotional context of it. They didn't really race. He went the other way. How do you race when you go the other way?
Or the end of Brokeback Mountain when Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger embraced each other because they had to just accept what they were and they couldn't hide it anymore. I mean,
well, I don't know, but I ain't going to that.
I didn't watch that movie. Why did you watch that movie?
Brokeback Mountain was actually a really good movie. It's just a love story, man.
It's a beautiful love story, man.
Yeah.
Two cowboy men trying to hide what they really are.
Ang Lee, right? Wrote the film, directed it, I believe. Or was that
Ang Lee. I don't know what you said.
I thought I said that, but it might have been an Avatar too. But
I thought you said Ang Lee.
So with that being said, Manny, you can change the graphic to to Rampage, because I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what's going on with the stories that they're trying to tell me.
Before you get into the negativity of Dynamite and AEW and your hate.
I'm not hating on it. I'm just confused,
West Coast, the question was FTR the match of the week.
No, Nikita Lyons versus Lash Legend was my match of the week. I'm sorry. I enjoyed that shit too much.
No. Sheeta versus Serena Deeb is the match of the week.
I actually like
if you even argue, I'm kicking you out the studio.
I like Mustafa Ali versus Miz. I like Miz versus Mustafa Ali. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, I actually think my match of the week was the Randy Orton tribute tag match that ended Monday Night Raw. I thought that was actually a really, really fun match for me personally.
Eric,
Raw was a really good show.
She found Tony Khan's cocaine and then Hadoukened it into Sheeta's face. Yeah, need I say more?
As much as I love these two women fighting to the end of time, and I'm rooting for them to fight forever, I can't give them match of the week on weekly program. I can't. I thought Dax said and was the better match.
Was it because it was different from everything that you've seen in wrestling for a long time?
No, Dax was the same shit as everything. It's still, to me, it still wasn't Punk and Dax. Right now, again, as I state on this show,
the measuring stick on Thursday for Dynamite.
Dax is the wrestler of the year. It's not FTR, it is Dax. Dax by himself. He has the Briscoe match. He has his matches with the Young Bucks. He has
that mustache that makes him look like a racist.
CM Punk. He has Edge brings him up in his promos with his family's in danger. Dax is the key to wrestling right now.
Mark, if he's the key to wrestling, wrestling is dead. I'm just saying.
What are you talking about, Eric? He is wrestling.
He is wrestling. He is. When I tell someone I'm watching wrestling,
he ain't no sports entertainer. He's wrestling.
And for the record, I think deep down in my soul, Eric, and you know it too, when you say you watch wrestling, a little part of you was a little bit of Dax right there. Your heart saying that's what you look like on the inside.
You right.
When you're watching Christian Air, you know you look like Dax on the inside.
I know who I am, Marcus. I know who I am. I know, Marcus. I'm with my pickup truck, my piece of straw, my cowboy hat, and my mustache. I know who the hell I am.
When you were struggling to drive your truck, you knew you were when you were driving that truck, you were Dax. And then your wife, when she would drive that truck, you knew she was Dax. Full heavy Dax.
Yeah, Marcus. I understand who we are. I know what I am. But
Eric's driving down the street. The FDR music.
Marcus, just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm. Remember, I did have the Dukes of Hazzard, General Lee, growing up. Remember, I was probably riding around in my General Lee while you rode around the fire truck with my Confederate flag slapped right on the door. Right on the door.
That's true.
You know,
you sold out at the age of like 8. Your Confederate flag. It was the Dukes of Hazzard. I feel like if you wear for politics, they're gonna bring that picture up. Look at him. I'm 8. Who dug this picture up?
So, Marcus, your boy Swerve Scott.
At the end of the year.
Your boy Swerve Scott went against, I guess, another one of your boys, Darby Allin, in a solid opening match. But we had Ricky Starks, we had Sting, we had typical AEW booking in this situation. Do you feel like that booking tarnished the match to start Rampage off, Marcus, for the Owen Hart Classic?
I wasn't a fan of the ending. I just thought Darby should have won straight up without the random little bit of distraction. And this comes from WWE. This comes from the WWE fanboy who always believes there's going to be a distraction in there of someone on the announce table. But I thought that Ricky Stark's distraction wasn't enough. If you want to say to call Swerve, the Swerve go, I have an excuse now. No, you don't. You lost. Darby was the better wrestler. And then the backstage interview was like, nah, man, I'm not upset. Because Darby was like, hey, man, I give you 5 more minutes, man. We can do this. We can make it work, baby. I don't like the way I won that either.
Wes said we didn't know any better. I had a General Lee poster on my wall for years. And then you're dead right, El Luchador. Eric Hartwood sounds like a great wrestling name. That just get that shit, get it right. And Marcus,
porn or wrestling?
Marcus, both. I'm the Black Val Venus, Marcus. You know what? I thought you were gonna say something to the fact when you live in Swear's house like I do. I understand what was going on. Manny, did you like the opening match of Rampage, or did you think it was just too much convolution?
Did he watch it?
I did. I watched the opening match. I thought it was good. I don't need Ricky Starks licking his chops like ready to get swerved. I just don't need it.
I'd rather get Ricky doing that than your boy, which is Daddy Magic. Having the stroke.
Can you stop calling me his boy? He's more your boy because I hate his promo style while you love it.
Marcus, you were a fan of 2.0.
The worldwide week in sports entertainment. I do like that. It's obnoxious.
Mark, you just got bad taste sometimes, my brother. I don't understand what's going on. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me that
I'm a connoisseur of taste.
Because I already know WWE gonna get smoke for saying that they're biting the Jericho appreciation segment when we have the true meeting of the Dons next week on NXT, what I'm looking forward to. I can't wait when Santos let that Tony D and his Goombas know what's going up.
Why can't you stay focused on one show for half a second?
The Goomba is the worst.
How do we end back on NXT?
This is why you need structure.
You self-control, man. Because you could have stayed in NXT when you were talking about the battle of the thickness. Round 2.
So I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. I'm going to praise AEW. I think surrounding Jade Cargill with Kiera Hogan and Velvet Cake, Red Cake. I don't know her name. Velvet.
Velvet Cake.
What is that? Velvet?
With real velvet. With red velvet might be a good thing because it does hide that she's not the best wrestler in the ring, and they're not either. But it's still better. And I thought this
is probably worse than Jade.
I know, Manny, but still, it's
I
like
want to object. I want to
go
object.
ahead. Okay, I was gonna let Manny go first, but you
I'm
objected.
tired of random wrestlers teaming up together, and that's what this was.
Mark, it's black people. It's the baddie section. Mark, they've been.
This was the blackest Rampage has ever been.
Yeah, Marcus, come on, man.
Ring. The only white person in that ring was Sky Blue.
Yeah,
and she's respect to the culture. I am sick of people just teaming up for no damn reason in AEW. As they pointed out, Red Velvet was Jade's first opponent and been her rival from the beginning, and they have gave a zero explanation of why they teamed together and dug up Kara Hogan from AEW.
Because they're bad bitches, Marcus, and she wants to surround herself with bad bitches.
How did they unionize this?
Let's be honest. The baddie section was pretty rough. I don't know what was going on in that area, but when they show, I was like, you don't need to show these women anymore. They're not that attractive. They ain't that bad.
TK Pixel.
But Manny, I think we all realize that Willow's a true star because Willow, I've seen her in Impact. And they even made acknowledgement of like Willow won the fans over, and that's why Red Velvet turned on the fans because they wanted Willow to win, not her. This a solid 6-woman tag?
I mean, it was solid. I wouldn't necessarily say it was great.
Manny, I know it.
I wouldn't even put it in the category of good.
Manny, it's not in the category of Lash Legend versus Nikita Lyons. I get that, but it was good enough.
You're using that term loosely of good enough.
I would say they made it through. They get a participation award.
Now, what I did not understand is that we have a random match of Keith Lee versus Colton
Gunn. Who am I?
And they try to sell Colton Gunn and all that, and Keith Lee got the win. I thought it took too long for Keith Lee to get a win. But for me, I was more confused because, Marcus, you complained about random people teaming up. There was a segment that took place on Rampage that I still don't understand the concept. It's when you have the Gun Club in the back, they're sitting there, and the next thing you know, the Acclaim comes up. It's like, hey, do you want a scissor? Why do they need to make a merger of, like... They're tag teams. There's no quadruple. Like, it made no sense to me, Marcus. Can you understand to me why that happened? Why do we need a merge of the Ass Boys into the Acclaim? Why do we need that?
Hold on, Eric. Hold on. I'm going to get real serious right now. And as the baddies flaunt their money, I felt like I was just at a strip club all of a sudden. But let me take off my glasses and cross my eyes for this one and say, I have no fucking clue why I said that. Why is it happening? I guess the wingmen are done, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. And that's my years of wrestling analysis.
Manny, did you make it this far in the Rampage, or did you stop?
I got to the main event. But this is kind of how I was watching the main event. If this is currently my screen where I was watching Rampage, do I have a control? I was playing some other game. I was like this.
Okay. I mean, that's
what you doing.
Because
Joe
I mean, technically, let's be honest. It wasn't AEW Rampage. It was Ring of Honor, whatever they want to call their show. It was a main event for Ring of Honor. They were telling Ring of Honor stories in the main event of that show, and
he's keeping Hook.
And I mean, he pushed Danhausen up against. I mean, like, really, he talked. Whoop-de-doo. Like,
now,
I don't like
these
that.
Two were gonna kiss in the ring, and I don't know why.
I don't like Danhausen. I think it's stupid.
Like, I just need Danhausen to be explained properly because I just don't get it.
and like, I get it when he comes out, he get a reaction from the crowd that are in the know. I'm not in the know. I don't understand the concept. It don't do it for me. And then I don't understand. I understand Marcus is teased about finding an Indian man to increase our numbers, but the Indian man that's confronting Joe.
I never said that on air. I don't think I even said that on air. Did I say that
wasn't said on air. How dare you put on off-air discussions without discussing it before we do it?
Yeah, I had a whole bit. Going on.
I'm an old man. Sorry.
That was too much of me. That was too much of me. That was terrifying.
Manny, are you interested in this whole quad problem with Samoa Joe, Sonjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and the unknown? I can't remember the Indian man's name. Whatever his name is. Okay, fine.
I don't know why he's involved though. I don't understand why he's involved because the beef really just seems between Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe. Why is Satnam Singh involved?
It's because they have a tall Indian man that they need to have. I don't know.
They got muscle. They got the Basenga.
I just
you made it seem like it was a domestic dispute of some kind in your apartment building, and then you were like, I don't know why he's here. And he's fighting people, but I know I'm here because he done fuck with the wrong motherfuckers. This I don't know why Satnam Singh's here. He's extremely upset. He's really upset with Joe.
The Indian man is the most Vince thinks TK has ever done. Maybe he ain't thinking straight since D went through his weekly cocaine stash. Maybe. I don't know, but I feel like that show was written before the coke was tarnished at that time. I just don't know. I mean, AEW had a good week, I think, in my opinion. They established that we're going to have CM Punk maybe rescue us from boring ass Hangman Page. I mean, hopefully that's the case. Then that's about it.
No, CM Punk never said. Eric, CM Punk did say he was gonna win.
He
So
said
I
he's gonna
don't
try.
believe
Marcus. He's
gonna
try.
Mark, he's gonna fucking try.
Marcus, every time I start recording the show, Marcus, I always say I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna.
I forgot that was part of the text when I said you can do the thumbnail, and I was like, I already finished it before you even sent it.
But I tried, Manny. That's all I did. I tried.
I don't want people going out there to try. I want people to go out there and do this. Do or do not, goddammit.
No, so like I agree with JK Smush in his comment that he says, why have a Ring of Honor storyline on your show? It feels like a TK Booger Sugar special. I mean, I think for me, yeah, he made the announcement that he acquired Ring of Honor, but he never really explained what Ring of Honor is. And I understand that, yes, everyone knows, but why is Ring of Honor a thing to be acquired? Why is it a thing that we're featuring the champions on their show? And I don't even think Wheeler Yuta, since being in the Blackpool Combat Club, he lost his title to somebody. I got no mention of that one, or is he still even the champion?
He's still the pure champion. He's still pure.
He don't wear the title, huh? So I'm just confused about what goes on.
What I need explaining? Why is AEW trying to make me give a shit about Tony Nese? Why?
Man, they're not. They're setting them up to lose.
It makes me feel like this.
Yeah. Tony Nese.
Because Betty, it's part of the cocaine binge of Tony Khan saying, I know better than Vince, and I'm going to show you that Tony Nese was actually a real star. That's what it is.
Tony is going knee deep into the wrestling community. You know what? Respect to the game that he's committed to only being a professional wrestling show and only going after that audience and not expanding. Because that's where we're currently at with AEW. I'm just upset with the product of not giving me the drama or my soap opera storylines. There's no storyline in AEW I care about. Marcus, if I watch Wardlow and MJF, it's the exact same thing as MJF Cody, MJF Jericho, MJF
Marcus. Punk. There is an original storyline going on in AEW that no one wants, but it's going on. It's between Jericho Appreciation Squad and Eddie Kingston and his crew.
Their society.
That segment was bad, but it's a storyline.
Hold on. I don't want to hear anything about bad segments, Eric, because I'm going to deflate that storyline for one. Pride and Power needs to get away from Jericho and actually do something in the tag team division because they have been fighting and teaming with Jericho for 3 years now. They have not done anything else, and it's been a waste of time. And two, I'm going to give that segment a pass no matter how stupid or anything I care about. You want to know why? My golden rule in wrestling. No, my golden rule in wrestling. Fireball. Anytime the fireball, you get a pass. I love the fireball. Don't care if it works. I love it even more if it doesn't. I love fireball segments. They're terrible and great at the same time.
I know you. Let's go through it and get through SmackDown. SmackDown started off with the cage match with Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre, which kind of just really, I mean, it was a match, but the problem with it is that it ruined the tag team unification match. I mean,
yeah, you know what? Hey!
Why are you running? Why are you running? Yeah? What? You owe me money. You have to give me back my money.
The thing about that, though, is that is actually the strategy of a cage match. You try to run. You beat your opponent up enough, and you try to run and climb out the cage.
Well, you can also just beat your opponent up and just walk out the door as well, or you can win, like do what Drew did and win by pinfall and submission. I enjoyed this match, but there was no reason to have a cage match other than just to do it, and I don't understand why Drew needed this. Like,
this should have been the main event. This should have been the main event.
I don't know why we did the beat the clock challenge as the main event.
Me neither.
Why my main takeaway from SmackDown was, what is Drew Gulak's next job?
Do you know the sad thing about that feud is? Drew Gulak has to be the person Charlotte has to interact with to make this feud seem relevant, because the other one is not bringing anything.
And you know, the worst part about things is, like, I know I was hard on Jericho and his crew and Eddie Kingston, but by far the worst segment of the week, Happy Corbin and Mad Cat Moss. I mean, why did the tape show? Like, you watched it back on tape. You saw that this should not have been aired. You could have put anything in there. You could have gave me a video package. I mean,
they tried to throw razzle dazzle with fake audio and everything.
I mean, just show me a WrestleMania pre-review again or whatever they did.
Mark, I know you have complained, Marcus, about them giving us replays of what happened at WrestleMania. But Marcus, tell me, a replay at WrestleMania would have been so much better than Baron Corbin trying to destroy the trophy that he made famous. I mean, this was bad.
I would have had a SmackDown flashback of a match that happened 10 years ago or something.
Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. I hope y'all enjoy this. I would love for Vince McMahon to come on the screen one day and be like, the segment that we produced and taped for the show is not watchable. Here's a match from Ruthless Aggression era. Watch John Cena, JBL, tag team match
and Manny,
against Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. I hope you guys enjoy. Tune in next week to SmackDown.
Manny, will you agree with me that Ricochet versus Shanky is not as bad as you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, but I still think Shanky should be one of those that should be released.
I agree.
Hold on. I have a question right now, Manny. Right now, it's a serious question because I had it in the middle of the match when I was going. You know, the Shanky guy could, a little bit more seasoning. He actually may get somewhere. But I want to throw this question, Manny: Shanky or Von Wagner? Who you taking? Who you taking?
I'm taking Shanky. Shanky got more personality.
I can't watch the next 4 weeks of NXT because Von Wagner is on it. I can't watch the next 4 weeks of NXT UK because Von Wagner is going to be appearing on it, and I just don't want anything to do with it.
So, there at NXT when we did the releases, there was someone that got released. I don't know if they got released, but I need them to because they showed up again. Marcus, you know how you have those issues with the colognes? Well, Marcus, I have issues with the shaking ladies. I don't know their names, but they drive me crazy anytime they show up on NXT and they're just doing the salsa dance.
Oh,
and
the bird lady.
The bird lady.
Yes, I can't stand them. And I need them to be released. It's just the whole commercial break. That's all they doing. It drove me fucking crazy.
But no, I preferred them when the one had the feathers on and she wrestled with the feathers, and after she lost and got squashed, it looked like you just plucked a chicken or killed or Iago was just shedding in the middle of the ring. Rest in peace, Gilbert Godfrey. But that's what it seemed like was going on with them. And KC Express is still the best tag team in wrestling.
Hey, I love the name Katana Chance. I know people might have been upset because I could never say Casey Catanzaro, but Katana Chance is a name. Chance.
I think this is the best name change WWE has ever produced.
Katana Chance. Xia Li could have been Katana Chance. Would have been racist, but I would have enjoyed it too, though. But then we move on to Raquel Rodriguez got a squash match, Marcus. But a much needed squash match, correct? We needed this.
You know what? The guy
clothesline was disgusting.
That
clothesline was disgusting.
It's rare when you see a big woman just allowed to go do what the big men do in their squashes. And she was like, she just tried to kill her. She literally went out there to kill. Raquel Gonzalez ain't shit. She basically did what her man Braun Strowman was doing for about a year, just killing dudes for no reason. But look good. Good match.
Manny, I don't know how Naomi found the energy to defeat Shayna after she witnessed her husband be murdered by Randy Orton in the previous segments, but he was.
I've never seen someone so violated.
I was like, he acknowledged that Jay was the right hand. That's like me say, Manny, you the right hand man, but Marcus, you a bitch. I
know.
I was like, what the hell, Randy?
Well, he was just going off the show.
That was so unnecessary.
My favorite part about that segment is trying when she's coming out in the middle of a brawl, because he never comes out. When I have said this numerous times on the show, Jungle Boy makes the same. Never thought I'd ever see the day when the tribal chief comes out to make.
He just called Jimmy Uso.
That, you can't call that a save. I've never. That's like Undertaker coming to save you. You're gonna take an hour.
Marcus, what that was Roman coming out to give the acknowledgement to Randy. You right, Jimmy is a bitch, but he my bitch. I mean, that's what that was. I mean,
don't talk about my bitches like this. Don't talk about my bitches.
Randy is the best at delivering stuff like that because the simple fact is that it comes from the heart. Like I'm assuming they cool or something like that because I don't know if that was ad lib or what. It just came off the blue. I was not ready for that. It just wasn't. And Naomi should have been in the back consoling her husband instead of beating Shayna Baszler.
That's gonna lead Jimmy to drinking.
You act like he isn't already.
Yeah, everything leads him to drinking, man. I mean,
he can be clean. It's been a while. It's been like 2 months.
Yeah, he hasn't got
it.
Maybe Marcus,
no, actual time. Probably longer, Manny.
He's probably just not driving. That's what he's probably doing.
Oh no, they did release the video of him calling an officer an asshole, and I don't know why that was a news story because I believe everybody, when they get pulled over by the police, gotta call them whatever that comes to their mind. Drunk or sober, fuck you.
Marcus, time has been removed
since
your incident into your entanglement with law enforcement. Did you call them an asshole?
No, I don't care. Huh?
Did you call them an asshole?
I decided. And or as I like to say, at the current time, we in the Green Lantern Corps decided
I forgot you were actually dressed as the Green Lantern when this happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Guess who showed up in my courtroom a couple of days? Marcus' attorney.
Oh, did he?
He didn't remember you though, unfortunately. So he started to tell me how bad his office was and all. And I was like, shit. Damn.
Marcus, you brought great shame to the Green Lantern Corps.
Nah,
they took my ring, Manny. They took my ring. I was like,
no. Kyle did a good job of bringing shame to the Green Lantern Corps, or actually, fucking Deadpool did. Ryan Reynolds did.
Guy,
he brought shame.
Guy,
Kyle.
Guy.
Oh. No, Guy's a badass.
No, it's Kyle. It's Kyle. Kyle's bad.
No, it's Guy. I don't like Guy.
You don't like Guy, but we all agree we like Hal. Hal Jordan's fine.
Yeah, Hal Jordan's fine. He ain't no Jon Stewart.
Well, I knew you were gonna like Jon Stewart, but I think
Jon Stewart blew up a planet.
Hal Jordan was a serial killer.
He was under the influence, just like an Uso.
That's what they say.
He was under the influence.
That's what they say for every white man that commits murder.
Marcus, you may call him a serial killer, but when you destroy a planet, you destroy everything that was on that planet. That's far worse. There could have been people on there. There's serial killer, and then there's extensive killer.
So, Marcus, I know
what we learned is that the Green Lantern Corps isn't shit because it seems like even Sinestro turned evil.
Mark, you don't like the vest. You just don't like Guy's vest. That's your issue. You don't like because you don't like anybody named Guy.
Yeah, I do. That's true.
Yeah, it's just who you are, Marcus.
I hate all guys.
Yeah,
apparently, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you can't be the guy because you just the bitch.
One person called Guy.
There's Guy Fieri. There's Guy from I don't even know the guy's last name in the Green Lantern, and then there's Guy Hebert, who was a goalie for the
really?
Really? Yes. What? I ain't like him either. What?
Honestly, I'm not going to even talk about the beat the clock challenge. We knew it was going to happen, but quite frankly,
he got him Kyle Rittenhouse.
Let me say, literally, the show for being taped, it wasn't that bad. It had some bad moments, but it was an okay show to pass by. I don't think people would be upset about what happened on SmackDown.
No. There is a little outrage. 6-man tag main event at WrestleMania Backlash. Get out of here with this shit.
Yeah,
I know he ain't made a bit the show. I wanted my unification match. Is it still happening?
I don't know, because maybe something happened with Nakamura. Maybe he's about to be released. That's why I don't know why this was the pivot that they did.
I think Roman is actually properly hurt.
Oh,
I think he's wrestling injured.
Or he's milking this title reign. And they're not main event anyway. The main event is your girl Ronda and Charlotte.
Oh, that match is gonna be awful.
In an I Quit match. No, I think the match is gonna be solid. It's an I Quit match. And
first of all,
gonna be terrible.
Marcus, I'm not gonna let
Drew Gulak will play a handsome role in this one.
I'm not gonna let you sit here and disrespect Manny and I trying to put Ronda off on me and Manny. We have never supported Ronda. We have always talked bad about Ronda. You're the only person that talks about Ronda in the positive light, Marcus. So that is your girl.
Eric,
your girl.
Eric, and the fact that she's now wearing hot mama across her breasts, no.
She is not even a hot mama.
My penis went inwards.
Well, Manny, I didn't know your penis could do that. I didn't know it was like Scorpion and get over here.
Hey, Marcus.
Well, Marcus, as I told you before.
And then when it retracts, when Ronda comes back,
pretty deadly.
Hey, Marcus. Hey,
yes,
boy.
Boy.
And on top of that, Manny went to that Ric Flair training school. He knows how to do the helicopter. He just doesn't tell everybody. Anyway, we do
yes, boy.
Hey, but let's keep this consistent. We said we would never talk about each other's penises again. Once I call my penis cool, we are not talking about penises anymore.
That took
no.
We said Manny and Marcus show. I don't know anything about that.
We said we wouldn't talk about each other's. I never said I couldn't talk about mine.
Well, tune in next week when we do the Manny Penis show, where it's Manny and his penis discuss the world and what's happening today. It's a serious news show.
Hey Dick, how's the world going? You know what? It's hot and musty.
Well, I also want to say, as bad as the conditions are down here, I will say it's not Johnny Depp's bed. Living situation.
You know what? The more I see of that trial, the more ridiculous it gets.
It's great. Honestly, it's time to make a movie of that trial.
But at the same time, nothing surprised me because it's Johnny Depp and all that shit just seems like Johnny Depp would be like, it's like, you don't understand how good she's in the bed. She shit in the bed. I don't know.
No, did you see the one when they're interviewing his security, and then they said, "Oh, did you have to restrain Johnny Depp?" And was he urinating in the foyer? And he was like, "No, I think I would have remembered if I saw Johnny Depp's penis."
So anyway,
this is the best thing, and you know who's happy about this trial probably more is Will Smith because it erased everything. Not erased it. It's no one's talking. That erased people talking about Will Smith. Is that this Johnny Depp trial is ridiculous, and I can't wait for the movie. And I need a starring Johnny Depp because he will be amazing in it.
So Marcus, speaking of movies starring himself, have you seen the Nicolas Cage movie? Because it seemed like something that you and Ryan would watch. And
no,
apparently,
I have not.
My coworker said it's one of the best things. Say it was one of the best things they'd ever seen because it was hilarious.
It needs to come to streaming. I would not pay to go see that in the theater.
I watched the latest Sandra Bullock movie.
Eric, come on, Eric.
I can't even remember what it's called.
You can't even. It's called The Lost City because you told me this on Thursday, and I said there was a Sandra Bullock movie out.
The last one that I thought Sandra Bullock made was when she couldn't see.
Yeah, she has another one.
Oh,
yeah. Brad Pitt's in it, and he does a Hurricane Rana.
Shit,
and
Brad Pitt in the movie,
and he does a sleeper hold. And Channing Tatum comes out to Final Countdown.
Which is why Bryan Danielson no longer can do it. Speaking of which, Manny, you and your penis show should be known as Manny and the Cockney. I just feel like that is the accent. Plus, it sounds like cock in it.
No, the cock and I.
We're going down a road that we can't return from. So I'm just going to jump into the email. It's the guy who sends people on exotic vacations, and his first 2 books exceeded expectation. The guy that can do it like no one else can. You know who it is. The Diz Man.
Yeah, it's not a picture of the Diz Man.
What's really good, Sharpies, what's really good. To begin this email, I wanted to apologize for the long email I sent in last time. You asked the question, and I wanted to make sure I put some thought behind my answer. Also, I wanted to say that I don't want to come off as anti-WWE or as someone who is bashing you guys. You guys make good points, and I do understand where you are coming from, for instance. I agree.
Bash us and please be anti-WWE.
I agree that a good story can make a good match better. To those that don't agree, think of it as a road trip. If you and the crew are singing and dancing and having a great time before you even reach the destination, the whole trip will be looked at as a great experience.
How are you dancing on a road trip?
Manny, sometimes you
in the car,
man. You know, sometimes if you ask Shantae, I'm one of the best bed dancers in the world, man. I can cut a rug in a bed. Yeah, man. You know what?
Grandpa Joe, Grandpa Joe, Willy Wonka hopping out the bed. I gotta go on the deck.
Nah, man, it's dancing in the bed, my brother. Fuck Grandpa Joe, man. Freeloading ass. Anyway, back to the email. I even agree that AEW could be doing a better job of telling stories that get people interested. Personally, I think it has more of a sports feel, which is both a good and bad. I mean, I don't watch sports much, but I know if you're not really a fan of the team, the game isn't really going to be appointment television for you, especially if you can catch the highlights on ESPN or something. I also agree with the statement has been doing this for years, like changing people's names or the way they tell story. The problem I see is it ties in with something else you guys said that I agree with. The internet ruined things, which I think is what somewhat hurts NXT. They're handling it the way they used to handle OVW and FCW. The problem is OVW and SCW weren't on worldwide television, so to me, it can't be confusing. Like, why is Natalya going after Cora Jade and Nikita Lyons on Tuesday and teaming with Shayna on Friday? Because she got that much time on her head. She got that much time because she's the boat.
Petty never sleeps.
Nah, man.
Petty never rests.
Sometimes it's hard to be petty. The only thing that I don't 100% agree with is that you can't listen to fans. I say partially because there are some fans who are just not going to satisfy, and I understand that. And you shouldn't just up and change stories just because of the people. But there are some criticisms that if you listen, can be taken and applied. The big one being so-and-so needs to turn heel. When I hear that, I don't think that people want a wrestler to start pushing kids and insulting people and doing dastardly things. They want the person to be cool and edgy. And that's something that I can get behind because it seems like the bad guys these days are cooler than the good guys. I do have a few questions. Villains. I do have a few questions this week that will hopefully lead to some good discussions. And if I'm being truthful, help me with my AWO Big Time Player books. Books that are, by the way, available at Amazon. Also, episode 3 will be coming soon, so be on the lookout. Anyway, the first question I have is, in your opinions, how much depth should go into someone's character? I mean, is it possible to go too deep, or do you feel the more you understand a character, the better? I will turn this question to Manny first because Manny has the giggles. How much depth should we go into with a character, Manny?
I want to go pause.
I want to pause.
I'm sorry, this man, but I gotta put this comment up. Oh wait, we gotta go back to the Grandpa Joe and all that comment because were they swinging?
They were just freeloaders, man.
And then it was elderly orgies for show. Lubing up with Big Gay and Big Paper.
That's painful. That's
fueled by cabbage water.
No, from lessons learned, never put vaporware to any of your private parts. It's not a comfortable situation.
I don't even know why I would even consider doing that.
It was an accident.
Your dick got bad knees.
It was an accident. It was an accident. That's all I gotta say.
Why did you even bring it up? Why did you even bring it up?
No, it was an accident. I just
did a freak.
No. I'll tell you what happened because it happened.
I don't like Eric the Gunther. Eric Gunther puts dicks on his dick. Anyway,
I was sick. I was sick one day. I was sick, and I put vapor rub on my chest.
You are sick.
I was under the impression. I was under the impression that I watched the vapor rub off my hands very well. But when I went and peed, I did not. And so,
how are you peeing? With your hands.
You gotta hold your dick.
Or are you doing it with your chest?
No, because I had vapor rub all over my massive chest.
Piss with your chest.
And I didn't wash my hands good enough, so when I held my dick to go pee, it was still vapor rub.
So you rub your
residue on
titties
there.
with vapor rub and then start rubbing your dick, and then you burned yourself.
Yeah, it hurt, man. It hurt a lot. It hurt a lot.
I like to think your dick has bad knees.
My dick doesn't have knees, Marcus.
Like,
Nobody dicks has knees.
Oh,
They got balls.
He's suggesting his dick has like hinges to it.
I'm not going to go over the logistics of what
and Marcus,
we made the rule of not talking about each other's dicks.
Hey, Marcus, I hate to let you know, the only thing that's not going to have knees is you after tomorrow. You're going to show up on Tuesday if there's a Tuesday show like, I ain't got no knees, y'all. I played basketball. I lost my knees.
Manny, I had to drain the fluid out my knees to do this show today. Or I'm going to do a Kawhi Leonard and just miss the rest of the year because my knee, I don't know if I'm ready to go. But let's go back to the dismissed questions.
What was the question?
The question is, how much depth should go into someone's character? Is it possible to go too deep, or do you feel that the more you understand a character, the better? Manny, you go first.
I mean, you can leave stuff out because then you can add to the character, but you need to have a solid foundation. You need to have stuff of like what their motivation is, because if there's no motivation, and then you suddenly turn bad guy or face, it just makes no sense. So there needs to be something behind your character, and then like Roman's character, where you've seen different things added as the time's gone on. That makes more sense. So like the goal has changed for him, so he just keeps adding more and more to his character.
Marcus, I'm going to let you be the finale on this one because I would point out, I think a good example of a character that they haven't really went into really deep, but they have really established what their character is. I think it's the Joe Gacy character. I think the Joe Gacy character in NXT, they really didn't explain exactly who he was, but he was being a prophet that was trying to better the situation, but he wasn't really trustworthy. As the late Malcolm Bivens said, a man who would kidnap a father and burn a Hall of Fame ring just to get a title shot is a man who is after his heart. And I think that is a good thing, because I think like this week, it makes sense that Gacy has minions and stuff like that, because he would have a cult following. And I kind of like that subtle that we learned about his character compared to the shaking feather ladies. We don't know shit about them. I'm just tired of them showing up. Fire them, WWE. Fire them, please. Now, Marcus, take us home.
I think
road, take us home.
To continue this with adult content, I think my characters need as much depth as the porno characters and then pornos, in which all I need to know what their gimmick is, what they're about, and what their purpose is. I don't even care about stuff. That's Eric who cares about the story, but I'm just saying, wrestling. I just need a motivation. I just need to know your motivation and what you're planning. Like Mustafa Ali came back. Mustafa Ali led Retribution, was going for revenge. We still don't know why he wanted to do that or hack the world. Now he comes back, and Miz and Theory are tearing him down, and he took his ball and went home. I don't have any motivation behind that character. I don't understand why he's back or why he was gone or took his ball and went home. As in a person who does have decent depth right now, Cody Rhodes said he's here for his Faja, okay? And he wants to win for his Faja. And Roman's motivations are, he's evil. And that's all I need. I just need a little bit. Just give me something to chew on and consistency instead of like they're jumping here and there. Like Finn Balor's a blank character. Roderick Strong on NXT, blank character.
He's the leader of Diamond Mine, damn it.
At least FTR, my wrestler of the year, Dax, has a motivation, and then he wants to win all the gold belt and bring wrestling back to when men were men.
And also, he's doing it for kids.
They're still like watching wet paint dry. But I'm going to go back to this.
They're not. You praised them this week. You just praised them this week.
But they're still boring. They had a good match. Every dog can have a good day. Every dog can have a good day.
They're good. I think the character with the most depth in modern times right now,
CM Punk.
Miro, God's favorite champion. No, CM Punk's just trying to decide if he's a good guy or a bad guy.
God's forgotten champion.
God's forgotten champion, who's just going to exile, was a good character who his motivations were simply to please his wife and to impress his God. And that was simple. It was easy. I understood what he was about. A la Penta Pack and the Death Triangle. I don't know why those dudes, as we were talking about people who hang out together as co-workers, those three dudes would be like, why is Pack hanging out with them guys?
All right, Huberic Reinhardt Edward, I think that's how you say it. He says, I can see WWE firing Lacey Evans soon. They did the same with Aleister Black. They make promos with chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then he'll make appearance, interrupt Big E match, and then gets fired. I mean, I can see Lacey getting fired, but I think she got two things going for her. She's blonde, and she's a veteran, and I think you can really milk that to the audience that they have in WWE.
She got a really emotional backstory too, with all this, I'm assuming, being somewhat true and just not being able to impress anybody, no matter how much she has accomplished over the years, which seems like it was a great deal of a life of just people just being unsatisfied. It's just like, nah, you ain't shit, Lacey. I'm a Marine. You ain't shit, Lacey. I'm a wrestler. You ain't shit, Lacey. this. Oh, you ain't shit,
all right.
Lacey. Damn.
The second question is also depth related. In your opinion, how much depth should go into a storyline? To me, I feel like stories are only partially told nowadays. Like they don't have a good start, and there's more they could do with the character. Am I digging too deep? And if I am digging too deep, how do you guys handle it? Marcus, I'll let you tackle that first.
No, I think that that is the main problem with wrestling today. The stories are lacking. What got everybody into wrestling in the boom period of the so-called beloved Attitude Era or the Monday Night Wars? It was the story of, holy shit, the NWO is taking over WCW, and holy shit, Steve Austin is running amok on his boss. That was literally what wrestling was, and you wanted to see how did the story progress. And that's not what we get this week. We get a new show on all wrestling shows week to week, not knowing what we're going to get or what the main story or who the main characters are. And if Manny can attest this on Watch Retro, the whole show is built around Steve Austin and Vince McMahon. There's no other character on there that's worth a damn or mean anything. And SmackDown, when it was good, in the last year for the Heart of Roman, it was all about Roman and the thing, and all you stayed on and see how can Roman do something? What is he gonna do to get out of this, or how is Roman gonna accept the Usos and all that? There's some good drama here and there, but lately it's just seemed like we're gonna throw out some matches and some random skits, and hopefully everybody enjoy it. And this is for everybody.
HRE wants to see Marcus versus Big Show and Mark Henry at WrestleMania 39 in a handicap match.
Damn. Marcus, I got you.
Wait. I'm by myself?
Marcus, I'm going to run in for you, brother. I'm going to run in for you, man. It's all
but
good.
you're going to be out of breath by the time you get to the ring.
Marcus, I'm in immaculate. Marcus, I'm in Walter shape now. I can do it.
Can you say I'll prefer if you not run onto the ring and try to slowly get to there. Can you be under the ring and then pull a leg or something?
How about I will be pulled out like Edge was pulled out on Raw this week? I will pull out slowly as you get your ass whooped.
And can we also have cocaine powder and throw at people's eyes? And Manny, can you parachute in the ring with thumbtacks?
Now, Marcus, I'm not coming with cocaine powder, Marcus. If I'm going to throw anything in somebody's eye, I'm going to throw salt because I'm a salty motherfucker.
Now that I know, nice. That is very nice. And you neglect my next comment of Eric with the vapor rub. Can I get him to dive on people? And I was like, what is this?
Oh my God, it's Eric with the bottom rope splash. Oh my God.
He's covered in vapor rub and he's jumping on them.
Oh, all day, every day. Fuck Tiffany Stratton for taking my move, bitch.
I think she does it better. I don't.
She
think
does because she put a.
I don't think you can do a spin.
I've been practicing. I can only get it 30 degrees. I can't get the full 180 spin. I'm really upset by this. That's why I'm salty.
Shout out to the two pieces of shit they got together, Grayson Waller and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, do you know what? I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that is some privileged ass. That is some privileged ass shit that they are so unlikable that it was perfect.
No, and the way that they disrespected McKenzie was priceless. Like McKenzie's like, I'm trying to interview you. Like,
I hate people with accents. You have an accent. Shut up, bitch.
Speaking of good guys and bad guys, there are certain moves that bad guys should not do. For instance, should bad guys be doing flippy moves? I know it's old school, but I don't think a bad guy should be doing things that make me cheer.
Charlotte needs to stop doing face moves.
Yeah, but
Betty,
I'm okay with Charlotte because Charlotte is hateable at all different levels.
No matter what Charlotte does, that she's not going to be like. I mean,
no. If she went to AEW,
they still talked about her. They still was like, "I hate your titties, Charlotte."
I hate your titties, Charlotte. Slap them titties out of her face.
Ugly ass titties. Personally, I think a bad guy should be extremely detestable with no redeeming qualities at all. The levels I'm talking about would probably get the company canceled these days. Well, I mean, Joe Gacy did do the trade of the title to him to the ring that Marcus hated. I think Marcus hated that forever.
Yeah, I did, and I want to credit to I think the two realest bad guys in the room right now. Bada bing, bada boom. And I give MJF full bad guy credit. He doesn't say any, there's nothing redeemable about him. And he plays it even up on Twitter as well. And then, Baron Corbin, as much as you hated his segment, is a detestable character. And shout out to Natty for just being unlikable.
Well, she will die if she tries to do that. She has no athletic bone in her body.
That leads to my final question. Why do you suppose the company gets more praise or criticism than a character? I mean, let's say Payne, a character from my AW says colored people don't make good champions. Why would the AW get the heat, not Payne? Why don't people rally behind Payne's opponent, the exceptional Mark Sandel? It's just a story, right? And I choose to use characters for my book so I can be neutral and not slander any particular mainstream company. Anyway, Sharpies, I'm going to go, but you guys take care. Remember, overcoming negative self-thoughts is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Later, guys, sign the Disman. It's because no one talks about the employees. No one cares a damn about the employee. Like, if Coca-Cola pulls out the trash, Coke, Manny ain't going to say, damn, Earl that works for Coke, he fucked it up. He's going to talk about Coca-Cola. I don't know if there's an Earl that works at Coca-Cola. If it is Earl, I'm not blaming you for fucking up Coca-Cola.
On a side note, the intergalactic flavored Coca-Cola is disgusting.
Why the fuck is there an intergalactic? I don't even know what that means.
It is disgusting.
Well, we all know who the real man who fucked up Coke is. The one that exposes they had cocaine in it. He ruined Coke for everybody.
Marcus, HRE has a question for you, Marcus. Since he knows about your tendency to beat up locker rooms, Marcus, he needs to know. If you had to fight Randy or Big Show, who would you choose in a real fight?
I'm going after Big Show. I may lose that fight, but you know what?
You live to fight another day?
I mean, Randy's too agile. Randy in his 50s, I wouldn't even try to fight with.
Yeah, Randy's I know he was discharged as a Marine, but he still was a Marine.
I'm sorry.
I ain't fucking with Randy.
I'm sorry, JK Switch gave me an update on Earl. Earl has 2 days for retirement. He's been following since 1963. Yes. He's just like
got this old ass job of one by one. Study goes.
Thanks, Marcus. They got the automatic machine over there doing all the rep and battles, and you got Earl over there following us.
Off to the side.
He does like 3 cases per hour. But they can't let Earl go.
Love and care. I bet you that's the best Coke bottle. You know when your Coke ain't tasting right? That's when Earl didn't do it.
Well, Elon Musk said he's gonna buy Coke and put cocaine back in it.
Okay. But rumor has it Earl has just been released as future endeavors.
2 days before retirement.
Over some petty ass shit. And Tony Khan scooped him up and signed him to AEW.
But there's also talk that he's going to be showing up at Pepsi the next day. He's going to give a press conference of everything of why he walked away from Coke.
He signed with Left Twix. It's not even the same thing. Oh, shout out to Earl.
That was it. That was the email. I mean,
by the way, 45 minutes of a show, huh?
Well, I can't help that the email showed up. We were at the emails point. We was 5 minutes in the zone. We was 5 minutes. We could have finished it, and then the email happened, and we had to talk about Earl. Shout out to Earl.
We didn't have to talk about Earl.
You had to talk about Earl. You had to talk about Earl.
He's 2 days away from retirement, man. He's been bottling Coke since 1963.
And WWE has released him. Not Coca-Cola has released him.
Do you know how many award certificates he got for being the best bottler because he's the only bottler?
Two.
The machine gets all the other certificates.
I lost to a computer.
The player of the year goes to Bottler 2020 Rampant Machine. God damn it, it beat me again.
Well, honestly, to get a content warning, Jake El Luchador, we actually need people to watch the Saturday show, which it seems like no one really does. It's terrible. It's a terrible experience.
That's why it has an explicit tag, because we're explicit. How many people can you say you talk about Earl from Coke and then Vapor Rub on your privates? It is what it is.
And bitch and moan about people getting fired or not. You know, we were all over the place today. You know what? I feel like we were America today. We were America.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing in all these companies. And Manny, you know.
Dada, why? Why, Dada, why?
This is business.
This is my sweat.
I know, but I did business.
Shut up! Shut up!
This is business.
Hey!
I invested the money.
Stop talking! I will kill you!
Sorry, sir.
Hey! Dada, why?
Business.
Oh, God.
And that is business. And if I got released, I don't care, because I can have my Saturdays back to myself. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this business episode. Shout out to Earl and to everybody that joined us in the chat room. HRE, thank you for joining us. I don't know if he's been with us, you guys, before, but I appreciate having somebody show.
Ethel is tired of hearing her complain about that damn machine.
Did you guys hear that Earl tried to sue the company for harassment, saying that the machine keeps looking at him funny?
By the way, we know Ethel is Natty and Lash Legend over there, just like his shit. Earl.
But let me tell you, Natty's the realest person, because she always have all the black friends. Because before it was Lash Legend, it was her hanging out with Naomi, and now they're bitter rivals. But and then she'll be out there with Sasha, who I think hanging around Naomi is bad for us, because Sasha's becoming more ghetto than ever. I don't know how Makazi's dealing with this. Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I am Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
And I am not a pog. I am a human being. I am a man, and I need to respect this. No! How many do you got? How many do you got? I am Marcus in grand finale. Damn it.
You should be prepared for the best of.
Where did you even get that image? Where did you even get
Marcus? You know the question, Mark. You know that question that you asked right there. How many do you got? That's the question Earl asks to that bottling machine every day. How many bottles do you got? Damn it!
I'm going to outlive you, machine. Outlive you.
I can imagine Earl taking away parts from the machine. You ain't gonna work today, bitch.
I took your cog out. I took your sprocket out. You can't do anything without your sprocket.
I guess this is why we gotta fire Earl.
I'm sure that Eric is a ratings killer. He's gonna get released soon.
Good times. Let's
Eric
end this
versus
show.
The Undertaker in a casket match.
I'll be like Wendy Chu. I'll be like Wendy Chu in that casket. Hey, hey, Mr. Taker, you don't even have to put me there. I'm gonna go lay down myself. Thank you. And there'll be a trick, and I'll schoolboy his ass in there, and get the win.
You can't schoolboy nobody in a casket.
Don't worry about. I have my ways, Marcus.
So this is your strategy right here.
Yeah, lull him to sleep. When he goes to close the door, I'm going to put vapor rub and salt in his eyes.
Oh,
and it's over for him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm vicious, man. Just like Earl. Stay sharp, everyone. Till next time. We out.